continue. Is there any problem? You can see my screen now.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Okay. And you can also hear me.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. You
Yes,
if you have any this query, we can discuss it right here itself. So we'll take query. It's if it is not too long, or if it is too long, then we will take it after the class. Okay. So what we are doing here is that we are actually deriving the expression for shear stress distribution across this cross section. So uh, in order to carry out analysis, we have cut two section. You can look here that we have cut it into two section, AB and CD. So the length of this section, that is the distance between AB and line CD, is dx, and we will see here that this section experience a different moment. That is at portion AB, it experiences a moment m, and whereas at section CD, there is a slight means difference in the moment. So we assume it m plus dm. Similarly, we assume this stresses, value of stresses, to be sigma n plus this sigma plus dA. So based on this, we will use again the same principle which we were using, the principle of balance of forces, principle of balancing of moments, and we will find the expression of shear stress distribution. So let us proceed towards our next step. Here we can see that we have assumed one cross section EFGH. It is a shaded portion. Distance from neutral axis is something y1, that is of line EF. This cross section is having its centroid, and we can assume it or we can assume one distance as y here. So proceeding towards our next step is the area of EFGH. So we are going to derive the expression for shear stress in this cross section of the beam, rectangular, which is rectangular form. So let us proceed. So F is the shear force, as I said. M is the bending moment as sections CD, and subsequently we have this force F plus dF and moment M plus dm, and I is the moment of inertia about the neutral axis. So same figure we have this showing here, same figure, that is figure number 1. So let us read out the statement. We will get to know something more. That it is required to find the shear stress along section AB at distance y1 from neutral axis. Figure 1 shows cross section of the beam. Figure 1 shows the cross section of the beam. On cross section of the beam, let EF be the line at distance y1. So EF is the line at distance y1 from neutral axis. Now consider the part of beam above level EF and between section AB and CD. So we have assumed we are taking the area above the this line EF, or we are considering area EFGH. This is the cross sectional part, and the length we are considering for our derivation is this between AB and CD. This is differential length, that is dx. So now consider the part of the beam above level EF and between section AB and CD. AB and CD. This part of beam may be taken to consist of infinite number of cylinder at distance y from neutral axis. So there may be infinite number of contours, say for example this cylindrical, between your between section AB and CD, and we are considering the portion above E and F. So the principle is very much simple. We all know this. We will only balance all the forces, all the moments, and the net unbalanced force or unbalanced moment. This will be the resisting force which the beam will develop, and because of which failure will be prevented. So let dA is the this elemental this cylinder. Dx is the length of elemental cylinder. Y distance of elemental cylinder from neutral axis. We can see here that Na is one line, Ef is one line, distance and this one distance we have assumed this as a line. Here we can see is y. So y1 is distance from Na to Ef, and one arbitrarily distance we have assumed for in order to derive the expression for shear stress is y. Sigma is the intensity of bending stress on elemental cylinder on section AB. So section AB experiences a bending stress, that is sigma, and section CD experience an element bending stress, that is sigma plus d sigma. The bending stress at distance y from neutral axis is given by equation. So bending stress at distance y from neutral axis. So if we have some distance y, so we already derived the equation for this bending equation when we were doing this equation. We know this, that m by I is equal to sigma y, and because of which bending stress can be expressed in terms of this moment, as well as your this moment of inertia, and this distance orbit distance y. So for at any distance y from neutral axis, we can calculate the bending stress. But in our problem, we are also interested in this. We are also interested in your this knowing the bending stress at a distance of dx, that is at a plane distance CD. So at distance CD, we all know that here we can see this, that it is having a bending stress of sigma plus d sigma, and whereas moment has been increased from m to dm. So based on this and using the this bending equation, we can write sigma plus d sigma m plus dm by I into y. So this gives the bending stress at a distance CD. So we can see here that equation number 2 and equation number 3 are not of same magnitude. Because of this, we will have an net unbalanced force. So what is this? The magnitude of this unbalanced force? We will subtract 3 from 2. We will get to know this. Let us see this. This is stress. We have to multiply obviously by the area. Let us see how we do this. So the force will be given by equation number this your 4, and this will be sigma into dA. dA elementary area. Here we can see that we can assume an elementary area, that is your EFGH maybe of elementary area. So here we have converted our bending stress into corresponding bending force, and here we can see that the force is m by I y into dA. This is given by equation number 5. This is experienced by section AB. Similarly, we will have one force at this section CD, and which will be m plus dm by I y into dA. So the net unbalanced force. So we have converted these stresses into corresponding forces, and net unbalanced force will be nothing but on subtracting, we will obtain dm upon I y into dA. So this is the net unbalanced force. So here we will see something this interesting. The above level EF. Above the level EF between section AB and CD may be found out by considering all the elemental cylinders between AB and CD and above level EF. That is by integrating the above equation. So if we want to find the net unbalanced force above this, we have to integrate this expression, that is we obtained here, dm by I into y into dA. So therefore the total unbalanced force, so this second line, I am reading out this second line. Therefore the total unbalanced force above level EF and between two section AB and CD may be found out by considering all the elements between the section AB and CD above the label EF, that is by integrating the above equation. So we will in order to find the net and balance force, we will integrate expression number 7. So we all know this this y integral y into your dA will be nothing but so here we can see A is the area of cross section above level EF, area of EFGH, and Y is the distance of CG of area from neutral axis. Y is the distance of CG from neutral axis. Due to total unbalanced force acting on part of beam above the level EF and between section AB and CD as shown in figure, the beam may fail due to shear. Hence, in order the part may not fail by shear. So this will create this shearing force, and because of this beam may fail due to shear. Hence, in order the part may not fail by the shear, the horizontal section of beam at unbalanced level EF must offer a shear resistance. So this force, since it is a net bending force and which will try to fail the beam, so horizontal portion, that is we can look here that in above figure we have assumed one section EF. So at this EF, let us go back to this EF and see that. So here we can see this EF is the horizontal section. So this will offer an this complementary force, and which we called it as a shear force, and which will prevent the failure of this beam. And the horizontal section of the beam at unbalanced the horizontal section of beam at unbalanced beam at level EF must offer shear resistance. This shear resistance at least must be equal to total unbalanced force to avoid failure due to shear. So in order to avoid failure, this will offer a resistance which will be given by horizontal force at EF. So the net unbalanced force at surface suppose that at surface EF is m by I into A into Y. So this we will equate to this this corresponding force. This is force. So at level EF there will be one shear stress, but we will convert that shear stress in corresponding area, and corresponding area will be nothing but this will be your this width B and the differential length dx. So the net unbalanced force will be tau into B into dx, and on rearranging we will get this value as tau is equal to dm by I a y into B into dx. So tau is equal to dm by dx, but we know dm by dx is nothing but your force, and this will be equal to a f into A into y bar B upon I. The shear stress, so this is the value of shear stress. This is along the cross section of the beam. The cross section here is rectangular. We may also assume to be say this circular as well as I section, but it should be symmetric about the neutral axis. But the general expression in order to derive the shear stresses is given by F into A into y bar B upon I. So this is nothing but wait for a minute. So shear stress given by equation 13 is horizontal shear stress at distance y1 from neutral axis, but by principle of complementary shear, the horizontal shear stress is accompanied by vertical shear. So we have something tau in your vertical direction. So complementary means that if we have shear in the horizontal stresses, there will be also shear in your vertical faces. So sometimes A into Y is also expressed as moment of area about neutral axis. We all know this. We have studied in this uh, while deriving this expression, this equation for the centroid for different cross sections at in our first semester itself. So let us proceed towards one numerical. What we have studied, we will solve one numerical. So a wooden beam, 100 mm wide and 150 mm deep. So thickness is 150 mm, width is 100 mm. It's simply supported over a span of 4 meters. The span is given to be 4 meters. If shear force at section of beam is 4,500 Newton, shear force is given to us is 4,500. We are supposed to calculate the shear stress at distance 25 mm above neutral axis. So let us draw this dimensions as shown in our figure number 3. So here we have your this 100 mm as your width, thickness is 150 mm. Shear force is given to us 4,500 Newton, and we are supposed to find out shear stress at distance 25 mm above the neutral axis. So we will use this expression, that is expression given in our this 13. So please work out for this problem. We have to calculate tau. F is given to us. A we can calculate y bar, B and I we can all calculate. So for this problem, please work out the value of shear stress. Please work out. We have to find the value of tau using expression 13. So tau is equal to F into A y bar B upon I. So please work out the expression for shear stress at distance 25 above neutral axis. Okay, you can find I, value of I. I you can calculate. So let us see the solution for this. You may try it at a later point of time. So y bar is nothing but So above we need to calculate above this uh, your above this is 25 mm. You have to calculate the shear stress. So y bar, if we may, if you clearly look into the figure or carefully look into the figure, y bar will come out to be 50 mm, and based on this, we can calculate your this and this I is given by this your BD cube. Here you can look here this BD cube about this BD cube upon 12, and B is the this actual width of the cross section at distance y1 from neutral axis. So based on this and substituting it in your this equation 13, sorry, this is yeah, or 14 you may say. So we will get as tau is 0.4 Newton per mm square. So let us proceed towards our this next step, that is shear stress distribution for different section. That is, first we will take it rectangular section. So here we are going to derive the expression for your shear stress. So figure 3 shows rectangular section of beam of width B and depth D. F is the shear force acting at section. Consider a level EF at distance y from neutral axis. The shear stress at this level is given by. So we are going to find the expression for shear stress using our this general expression tau is equal to F into A y bar B into I. So if B is the width and D is your height thickness, so d by 2 is nothing but half of your distance from neutral axis, and we have assumed one this area that is your distance EF at distance y from neutral axis. So we will derive the distribution of shear stress for this general cross section AEF ABEF. So we need two things, that is CG and the corresponding cross section area. Cross section area of AB, EF. A, B, and EF will be nothing but T by 2 minus Y, and your multiplied by this width, that is B, and Y bar is distance of CG from A from neutral axis, and this will come out to be your this half Y plus D by 2. So we know all the things in order to derive your shear stress distribution for rectangular cross section. We will substitute value of A in expression number 15, value of your this Y bar in expression number 15, and I we can express it in terms of its dimension B and D. So let us proceed how this shear stress distribution will be across this your cross section A, B, and CD. So here we can look that tau will come out to be F upon 2I D square by 4 minus Y square. So can anybody tell this? What will be the value of shear stress, that is tau, at the center, at the neutral axis? At the center, what will be the expression for tau?
Zero.
At the center, at the neutral axis, y is equal to 0. Tau will be maximum. But at distance, you're at distance AB or at point B, this is equal to 0. So that's why it is parabolic in nature, and the expression is given by equation 19. So this we have derived for rectangular cross section. This is for rectangular cross section. So we use the expression 15, that is tau is equal to f a y bar upon b into I. This is the general expression. We can derive it for any cross section using this expression. We took one example of this rectangular cross section. We expressed area in terms of this d and y bar, that is distance of CG of area from neutral axis. We expressed in terms of this y and d. We will substitute it in expression 15 and get the expression for shear stress distribution across the cross section, which comes out to be a parabolic in nature, having zero value at the extreme points and maximum at the neutral axis. So in a similar line, we can find it for circular cross section, I section, as well as your this T section. Okay, so you derive it for your circular cross section, I section. Okay, for this T section, and submit it after the mid semester. That is after 18th of October. You submit it to class CR. Okay. So your mid semester examination will be of this 30 marks, and it will consist of 6 questions and 5 marks each. And so this no choice will be there, but you have to attempt all the other this 6 questions, 5 marks each. So I will share you the. Let me complete. We will come to this. So syllabus here. I am sharing you the syllabus. So I will also share you the syllabus and the PPT of the 2 units which I didn't give, but I will give you by today itself. So this is the syllabus. This I will share, and so okay. If you have any query, you may please ask. So class is over. If you do not have query, you may please leave.
Sir,
if you have
please
any
share.
query related to lecture,
Hello, sir. Please send
हाँ
PDF
उसको
in
शेयर कर देंगे.
WhatsApp.
I will share this.
In WhatsApp, sir, please.
WhatsApp. No, WhatsApp I'm not using.
It is not
So
downloadable from Gmail.
okay, wait for this. No, it is not downloadable, but you can read it, na? Okay. Any more?
सर ये जो येलो से हाईलाइट किया हुआ ये मिड सेम का सिलेबस है कि एंड सेम का सिलेबस है?
नहीं, एंड सेम के लिए तो टाइम नहीं बचेगा ना हमारे पास, क्योंकि उसके बाद हमारे पास बहुत सिर्फ 10 दिन ही है. इफेक्टिव लेक्चर अगर वो देखेंगे तो 3-4 ही है.
ये सर, तो ये जो है शियर फोर्स एंड बेंडिंग मोमेंट टाइप्स ऑफ सपोर्ट, ये सब भी आएगा इस बार एग्जाम में?
ये तो तुम लोग पढ़ चुके हो ना, तो रिवाइज करना होगा.
जी सर, वो फर्स्ट सेमेस्टर में था, शियर फोर्स एंड बेंडिंग मोमेंट डायग्राम वगैरह.
तो हाँ, तुम लोग ये पढ़ चुके हो. अगर तो इसी इसको since you have already studied this, that's why you have to simply revise this, no?
सर तो एक बार रिवाइज करवा देते, नहीं तो आप.
अब तो लेक्चर नहीं बचे मेरे पास ना. तुमने I have asked this before this starting course, but have you studied this? You all said that we know this. We also took some quiz based on problem related to this. On quiz you all answered it, so that's why
okay sir,
inside
no problem.
No problem. We will go by yourself.
Yeah. Okay.
Sir,
nahin,
but please,
we can take it after the mid semester, but please tell.
Sir, please send the syllabus for this midsem, please.
हाँ वो ये जो हाईलाइटेड पोर्शन है ये है, अभी मैं शेयर कर दूंगा.
All right, sir.
ठीक है,
Thank
I
you.
will share it all the PPT and your this. Okay. Okay, if you do not have any query, you may please.
Hello, sir.
Mrinal, please tell.
Sir,
Mrinal, please tell.
in bending moment, can you use singularity function method to solve?
Which function?
Singularity function which
Okay,
we have learned in
Mrinal,
first semester.
you okay, ठीक है, you derive it in your this notebook. Okay, you share it with me. This I will see this what you are exactly how you are going to derive this. Okay, so you do it this exercise by today evening and share it with me.
Okay, sir.
Okay, anything else we need to discuss?
Sir,
Okay, if Abhinav, please tell.
sir, I was asking, sir, where we will get some more circles, any type problems, like from where we can
देखो,
solve.
मोर सर्किल का जो एनालिटिकल इक्वेशन है, तो that come in exam. Graphical method, it is not possible to this ask in your this exam right now in this online mode. Of course, we can we may have must have taken it if it was offline classes, but we are not presently going to do for this graphical method. We'll have questions related to using analytical method only.
Okay, sir.
Okay. ठीक है, I will stop here. Your mid-semester exam for this mechanics of solid course is on 6th of October, and of course your mid-semester is going to start from your 4th. So all the best for your examination. Do well, prepare well.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, with
Thank
this
you, sir.
we'll stop here.
Meet
And
after your
we'll meet after your mid-semester exam. All the best.